Hello. Welcome to Selena's Couch, where I have an open panel and anybody is more than welcome to come up as long as you're not trying to bomb me or anything crazy, because I will boot your butt out. I don't play that. But I do welcome people to come up and just have a conversation. I made Selena Couch. It's somewhat like a, therapy session, maybe interview, just a conversation or whatever you want it to be. I just wanted to have open conversations on here. I want to first thank Miss M, the Queen. Thank you for coming through. Good to see you, beautiful, and Mr. Cutting Edge, one of my favorite mods. I'm so happy to see you guys here, and whomever that will come in a little later. Hello to everyone, and you are welcome to I'm really happy to go live, just for a few minutes, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Just depends if I get some brave people to come up and share your thoughts on my platform. I wanted to talk. Well, first of all, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. I enjoyed going to a surprise birthday party on yesterday, so that was really fun. And as you could see in some of my pictures on my community wall, I tried to be Nicki Minaj. I was the Timu Nicki Minaj last night, so I tried my little best to dress up. It was a you could dress up in a costume or anything. It was costume or not, it wasn't required, but it was a like I said, it was a surprise party for someone. So you say always nice to see. Thank you so much. It's a blessing to see you. Um, I am having a blissful energy, Cutting Edge. And it's November, getting close to my birthday, the end of November. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully, God willing, I'll be able to turn another year. Uh, let's say another year around the sun. So, hopefully, I'll be blessed to have that opportunity and enjoy it with the people that I love and care about for my birthday. So I'm excited about that. And then it's also getting close to Christmas. Um, I try not to get into like pagan holidays, but I look forward. I just like the point of it being about family, being family orientated, and for those who are believers, they believe that Christ was born on. Well, we don't know when Christ was born, but that's when they celebrated. But Christmas, yes, it's just like any other holiday, very pagan. But anyway, I like family time. I enjoy being with my family and just people that I care about. So I'm looking forward to the holidays and some good food. I know I'm probably gonna gain. I've been trying to do good, going to the gym 4 days a week and trying to watch my diet a little bit, but I know I probably will gain just a couple of more pounds for uh the holidays that's coming up, and then we're gonna have the new year. So God willing, hey Miss V, if we all alive, we'll be able to see 2026. So that's gonna be interesting to see what is gonna be for us this coming year. Some of us may be going through trying times. Some of us may be having a breakthrough, So there's some things that we have to look forward to in the next couple of months or so. And I'm excited about it. Um I really am. I'm trying to, really just embrace my life, embrace uh, the opportunities that I have, and really do something different than I did last year and the year before. And some of those things, you might not, I might not say it, or you might not know about it, because of course I don't share a lot of my personal life on here, and that's for good reasons. But I'm I'm just looking forward to a lot of great things. And I think that you guys should have a mindset, be optimistic, be realistic, but optimistic as well. Because, like I said, life is what you make it at the end of the day. Life is what you make it. So we all have misfortunes. We all have drama and different things that goes on in each of our lives. But you have to understand that uh, you know, problems are temporary, and how you handle them will determine how your life will go. So that's how I look at things now. Like I said, I don't like everything in my life, but I know one thing: I'm blessed and I'm content, and yeah, that's all you can ask for, and I'm grateful. So anyway, I want to talk about the subject, and it says everything happens for a reason. And I used to hear it, and it's so cliche, to hear that everything happens for a reason. Well, we think we know everything happens for a reason, but I don't think we really understand that everything does happen for a reason. And whether you believe in God, or you believe in the universe, or whatever you believe, the cosmics and all of this align and all of that, but things that happen in your life are not by happenstance. They're not by coincidence. They happen for a reason. And either it's something that you're going to learn from it, or it's something that you are going to, it's either going to break you, or it's either going to build you. But nothing happens just by coincidence. And when they do happen to you, uh, just realize that it's something that you need to probably pay attention to. When people leave your life, or when you decide to walk away, or when the job that you've been filling out applications, praying and waiting for it doesn't come through, or when something that was supposed to come through for you, did not happen. You might sometimes need to be thankful for those things. I noticed some things that I wanted and I prayed for, and just hoping to have, were the very thing that when I look back on my life, I realized I was so thankful that I didn't get everything I wanted. Um, I used to be mad, mad at God, mad at sometimes me or other people, or just mad just because things didn't go my way. Hey, Monopoly, how are you? And when they didn't come out the way I wanted to, I'm like, dang, why didn't this come through? I really wanted this to come through. Why didn't this happen? I'm like, if it just would have happened, I would have been happier, or I would have, it would have been better for me if I had this. Hey, El Boogie. And then when I look back at the situation, and I look at the things, and I say, you know what? Oh, thank God. Thank God I didn't get what I was praying for sometimes. Thank God I didn't get what I was just just so upset about, and moaning and groaning and complaining because I didn't get it. And when you look at things like that, you start to really mature, because a lot of the things you thought you needed and wanted was the very thing that you didn't need. And that's amazing how your perspective can change when you really just pay attention and you look at your life and you be like, you know what? I'm glad that didn't happen, because if that happened, I would have been in a worse situation that I was before, you know. And so I look at it could be a relationship. Say, for instance, you really wanted a relationship with a certain person. And when you really start seeing how that person is, you go back, or you hear stories of them, or they got into a situation to where their character was exposed, and you're like, I would have missed all of this because I would have been so infatuated with a person. I didn't see all the different character flaws that this person had. And mind you, we all have character flaws. We all have different things that make us not always a desirable person. But some people have more than others. And some people are just not going to be your cup of tea at the end of the day. So when things don't go through, and you look back and you're like, thank you that that did not happen. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people end up in bad marriages and bad relationships because despite of that feeling, that feeling that was telling them, hey, you need to take caution, you need to a red light, red, stop sign, and you went ahead and went through with it, and then you've wasted 5 to 10 to 20 years with a person that doesn't even appreciate who you are. And when you could just follow the signs and the different roadblocks that kept blocking you, it's like either God was trying to tell you, hey, I'm trying to show you this ain't the right way, and you keep going because this is what you think you want, until you get into a situation and find out what you thought you wanted you is really not good for you, right? And so that's how a lot of things are in life. You've been wanting to get this job and you've been putting in this application, and every time you keep getting denial letters, and keep saying, getting letters saying, well, thank you for applying, but we're going to move on to the next we're going to move on to the next participant, or whatever they say in the rejection letter. And you be like, dang, so you try it again, you apply again for it, just to see if there's any way that you're gonna be able to get this job. And then once you get the job, you find out that this job was hell. This job, the supervisor's crazy, they giving you problems, they're giving you more work than what you planned on getting. They're giving you work that another position, somebody in another position is supposed to be doing. And you sit up here and thought that this was going to be the ideal job, just to find out that this was the very job that gave you more stress, your hair falling out, you're going crazy. And so these are the things that I'm telling you in life that are roadblocks for us to pay attention, not to keep moving forward, but to pay attention to those roadblocks, and not to continue to keep doing and being stupid for the second and third time. Hey, Bama, happy birthday, EJ. Hello, Ryan. How are you? Hi, Cutting Edge. So, those are the things that we have to understand, that sometimes God not trying to punish you, or the universe is not trying to punish you, for those that believe in that. Sometimes it is things that are meant to protect you from making your life worse, or going through unnecessary drama and stuff that you don't even have to go through. But because you are so hard-headed, as my grandmother would say, or you're so stubborn to the point that you're going to do it anyway, and you find out everything you've been crying about is the same thing that's going to really make you cry, because there was roadblocks there to tell you, hey, don't come this way, but you had to keep doing it. You had to keep talking to that person. You had to keep opening a door to stuff that you should have closed the door to a long time ago. So when things don't happen for you, sometimes it's not always a curse. Sometimes it's a blessing that you didn't have that person, or you didn't get that job, or you didn't take that trip, or whatever. So in life, we have to take some things and be like, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And so this is not a Instagram in motivational quote or nothing like that. This is real talk, because a lot of the times the things I've cried about would be the very things that when I did get it, it really did make me cry. And it wasn't in a good cry. It wasn't in a joyous cry. It was a regretful cry because I knew the signs was telling me don't go there, but I still wanted it because I wanted it. And sometimes the things you want is not the best thing for you. And that's just what it is. And so we have to really pay attention to the signs, to the different things that happen to us, and not think that it's God trying to withhold any good thing from us, or it's God trying to punish us. Sometimes it's the very thing that he's trying to protect you. And when he's trying to protect you, it may not make sense because you're not in God's mind. You don't know. But then when you look back at stuff, you be like, dang, I'm so glad that I didn't do that, because I would have had A, B, and C happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I had a cousin. She told me, she said she knew not to marry her first husband, and she felt it in like the pit of her stomach. Something was telling her no. But because there was so many people at the wedding, she had so many family members there, and friends, and she was trying to do what another relative was doing, that she always admired and followed. And this other relative had a pretty successful marriage. And so since her and this cousin would always do stuff together, and she was just like, I know him, we've been together since college. I'm gonna marry him. I don't care what this feeling is, I'm gonna do it. And I'm assuming, and I think she was married for like 20 something years, but she went through 27 years of hell because she wanted to appease her ego, and she wanted to just avoid or stop the feeling, that nagging feeling that was telling her to stop, you know. And so she went ahead and went through with it, and she suffered a lot of years of emotional abuse, because mental abuse, because she wanted to prove a point and not listen to the signs. Had she, even though she got some blessings out of it, she had her children out of it, she went through a lot of hell with it. And the children went through hell because of her choice that she made. You understand? And a lot of times we ignore things because of our ego and trying to have an appearance in front of people. And really, like I said the other day, you trying to appease people that don't give a darn about you. They don't care nothing about you. They don't wish anything well on you. And you trying to withhold an appearance because you want to make things look better than what they are. And then later on, we'll find out that it wasn't all of what you said it was, right? And that's what my cousin did. She went through a 20 something years of putting a facade in front of people, but in the house, it was hell. And people do it every day. People do it every day. And so this is something that I don't want to get into, because I understand that a lot of wasted time doing stupid stuff when you know better. It's just that's time that is wasted. You'll never get there's some things you'll never get back. And one thing you'll never get back. One of the things you'll never get back is time. You understand? Time is a thing that you'll never get back. I can never go back to yesterday and rewind every event and everything that happened on yesterday. It's gone, right? So the time that I had yesterday, either I wasted or I used it valuably. You understand? I used it to my advantage. It, you know, and so since I understand that time is very valuable, I learned to move a little bit differently. I don't engage like I used to with everybody because I understand everybody is not worth my time. You understand? Hey, Channel Forbes, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Channel Forbes. We got who else in here? Let's see. Hey, Miss Chi-Town, what's good? We got her son. Thank you for coming through. So you understand that when you you get as they would say, when you get grown, you understand that you don't have time to be playing with people, and people that don't mean you no good, or people that want to play in your face, you don't have time for them either. You understand? Because you understand that with all of what the foolishness that people do, it's not worth me engaging. It's not worth me even talking to this person, because they don't see me or my time as being valuable, right? And I only invest in people that I can have a good investment in, that so I don't. And that's just like with anything. Hey, Alan, when you're going and doing these investments, you have to study the investment to see, first of all, is it worth the risk? And some of the investments that we make is not worth the risk. Hey, Taryn, they're not worth the risk. They're just not. And some people are not worth the risk. Some situations are not worth the risk. If my sanity, my joy, my peace of mind has been taken. Hey, Derek, good to see you. It's not worth my investment. You know what I'm saying? So I have really did a lot of, I'm doing a lot of soul searching on my own for myself. I'm looking more at the man in the mirror kind of thing, because I think Body Clouds of Joy, it was an old gospel quartet back in the day, like in the 90s and the 80s. I had an aunt that always used to listen to the Mighty Clouds of Joy, and I think they sung the song "Sweep Around Your Own Front Door Before You Try to Sweep Around Mine." And basically it means taking care of your own business, making sure your stuff right before you start trying to sweep up and tell other people else how to do things. Hey, Bishop, how are you? So those are the things that I think about. you know i'm not I'm not too friendly anymore. I'm not too ready to always accept people in my life anymore. I'm not always willing to take every opportunity as if it's something that I need to take, because just because it's the opportunity there, it doesn't mean it's the right opportunity for you. I'm doing good, Mr. Bishop. I hope you are as well. So you understand that. And so I'm glad that I'm finally getting it through my thick skull that it's some investments not I'm not willing to invest in. Hey, SJ, hey, R&B. It's some investments I'm not willing to invest in. It's some people that I'm not willing to invest in. It's some situations in my life, well, not in my life, but just that come up that I'm not invested. I won't be invested in. And so this is the season, and people have been saying this all over about the season of exposure. The It's a news flash, okay? Because people say everything that everybody else says, right? But I want to say it's always going to be a season of exposure. People will always expose themselves, whether it's good or bad. The season of exposure is a lifetime of seasons, right? Everyone has their chance to be exposed, whether good, bad, or indifferent. And unfortunately, we see more bad than good, right? So, in the seasons of being of exposure, and this is why you got to be careful about trying to expose other people, right? Because when you try to expose other people, your stuff will start to expose. else. The stuff that you think you're hiding is actually already been exposed. You may think others can't see it, but others can see everything, right? There's some people that can see things about you you've been trying to hide. So every time you think you are exposing someone, make sure you understand that your stuff is being exposed as well. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Your stuff being exposed as well. My stuff is being exposed as well. I'm pretty sure even with the great things about me, people can see, hey, she got a quick temper, she got a smart mouth, you know, I have insecurities, right? Hey, Roy Lee, I have things about me that I may think I'm hiding, but somebody sees it, right? And that's just like with all of us. We all have things about us that are going that other people may see, you know? And so seasons of exposure is for everybody because everybody gets it, not just one or two people behavior. It's going to be everybody's behavior. Somebody sees your behavior, whether it's good or bad, right? So I'm very leery when there's people that's always trying to expose and saying other people are being exposed because in return you are also being exposed as well. So we have to be very careful about who we point the finger at, who we try to expose, because our life will be exposed in front of people, in front of hundreds of people, thousands of people. So we always have to make sure, as the mighty clouds of joy would say, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine, right? You have to be open to constructive criticism. Not everybody's out to get you, but then there is some people that are, you know. Um, so I'm learning a lot in this time in my life, and I'm glad that I'm starting to really open up my eyes to myself, because I always try to deal with me instead of dealing with other people, right? I look at me and be like, you know what? I gotta work on this. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the times we have things about us that we hate about other people that's really in us as well. Have y'all ever hated something about another person and then find out somebody will tell you you do the exact same thing that you hate another person doing? You do the exact same thing. And a lot of times we be like, oh no, I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't. And then you turn around, you do that kind of stuff. And somebody will be like, you remember when? I'm talking about the real people, not the yes people that say you're just a great person and everything about you is wonderful. I'm talking about the people that know your good and your bad, right? And they'll tell you, oh, yeah, you do that. You know, I'm like, for real? They like, yeah, you do that. I was like, dang. And I've been saying I hate this about this person, and I do the same thing, right? So it's coming, and I would say in this season in my life, and I hope that it will always be like this for me as long as I'm on this earth, because you're never too old to learn. That's a lie from the pits of hell when they say that, I'm too old to learn anything. No, that's your mindset. That's what you want to believe because you're comfortable in being raggedy, right? You're never too old to learn. Hey, Icy, you're never too old to learn, but your mindset has to be there, right? So I hope that when I become, older, as I become older, that I will always want to improve, that I will always look at myself first and not be so hypocritical and be pointing at other people like I don't do the same thing. Now, there's some things I know I don't do, but it's some things that I do that I blame or talk about other people doing, right? So I had really kind of just been looking, and I was like, dang, I gotta work on this. I'm a little, I get a little happy when I start seeing clothes and shoes. Or I I love fashion, and even though, some people might be like, oh, she can't dress, I like how I dress. I love clothes. I love shoes. Hey, Mr. Philly, in return of Mr. Oaks, how are you? I love to buy. That's one of my that's one of my little quirks, and sometimes my flaws, because I love shopping. Okay, especially for clothes and shoes. And I had to really even look at myself and be like, why am I buying certain things? Like, is this something that's missing besides I like clothes and shoes? Like, is there something that I'm missing in my life, or some type of void that I need to fill? Or is it some type of thing in my life where that it gives me a high? Some people get highs from different things. Some people get highs from gambling. Some people get highs from shopping. Some people get highs from having sex. Like, everybody has their thing, their different quirks about themselves where they get something from doing certain things. And it's nothing wrong with certain things, but some things, when it's not being done in moderation, it starts to take over you and it becomes a crutch for you. So you kind of have to figure out, if it's a crutch and you're not doing it in moderation, why are you doing it? What is the point of you doing it? Is it something you're getting out of it, and why are you getting this particular feeling from it? See, there's things that we do, we don't even understand why we do them. We just do them because it feels good. It makes us feel good for the moment. But some of us will still be broken. We'll still feel empty. So we're actually not being fulfilled if we really think about it. We're just feeling good for that moment, you know? So there's a lot of different things that I noticed about myself, about me liking fashion, but then I was doing things out of moderation. So then I have to learn, okay, I gotta get a balance. And how do I get that balance? First, I gotta figure out why I'm doing what I'm doing. Once I figure that out, which I have figured that out, then I said, okay, when I have the temptation of wanting to get some new shoes when I just bought 5 pair, right? What am I going to do when I see that other pair of shoes that I just got to have? I just got to have it, right? I have to really have some self-control. That's just point blank. And most people in this day and time, they don't have self-control because they want what they want when they want it. Then they find out once they get it, you ain't got enough money to pay your bills. Now, the craziness in that, but it does happen, right? We all have different things, and where you may be good at money and it's not an issue for you, you may have a sex addiction. You may can stop watching porn, and it's affecting your relationship with your significant others, affecting your marriage, and you just thinking your wife should be having her legs all on top of her head, just like the woman in the in the video, and it's affecting your marriage because you can't even really connect with your wife or your significant other because your mind's still thinking about the porn that you watched, right? So it's all kinds of things that we have going on, and we sometimes don't even understand where it comes from. So I would say, understand why you do what you do, you know that would be the first thing. And once you understand why you do what you do, are you going to control it? Do you want to control it? Or do you just want it to control you? I don't think God thinks that we shouldn't have emotions, but should our emotions control us? Should our emotions take over us? Just like I was telling y'all that story, was about a month ago. The lady 5 minutes away from me went to the PetSmart and got into an altercation with this young lady. The young lady took her life, all because of an argument about not saying thank you. People are losing their minds. They're losing self-control. They don't even know why they're angry. Have y'all ever been like out here, really just been out here? Some people don't. Some people like, I don't like dealing with people. I hate people. But when you're out here in this world and you have to be around people, it's so many people that got a chip on their shoulder. Why is there so many people walking around angry? Because they have unresolved issues. They're blaming everybody else but themselves. There's people here that today they mad at the world when they are the ones that messed up their life. Everything didn't happen to them when they was young. Some things they did to themselves. See, a lot of times we put things on us because we feel like we don't know no better. But some of us do. We just want to do what we want to do. And then when we have to reap the consequences, like I was telling you about that cousin, she was mad at everybody but herself. She the one decided she wanted to make her, and make her ego feel better about marrying somebody when she knows she know good and well she shouldn't have married that man. But she was mad at everybody. Mama, daddy, kids, cousins, everybody. Until she realized the problem started with her. The problem started with her. You are the common denominator most of the time, right? So listen to that feeling when something is telling you you might need to slow down. You might need to caution it. You might need to stop. Don't some people so hard-headed and so stubborn, they'll walk right into hell. They see it, they see the flames, they see how hot, they feel the heat, and they'll walk right into it because they just trying to prove a point. Them type of people are dangerous. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They don't take heed to warning. They always hitting their heads. They always falling and failing because they don't want to take heed to anything. They just do. So them type of people to me are dangerous. They don't have no type of boundaries. They don't have no type of restraint, you know. So I'm learning as I get older, pay attention to those little nudges, those things that's telling you a feeling that's telling you, hey, don't do this, don't get with that person, don't move forward in that position, don't go that way, don't deal with that situation, don't do that business deal. When you start feeling that way, and sometimes it's not all fear, sometimes it's something, it's a nudge in your, like the pit of your stomach that's telling you don't do something, and it's to protect you, it's not to hurt you. A lot of times people hurt themselves because they do stuff and they know, it's like in the back of their mind they knew not to do something, but because they wanted to, and they wanted to prove a point to themselves and somebody else, people that don't care about you and just want the worst for you, they'll go through it anyway because they trying to prove a point. That's a bad way to try to prove a point to people. Just to prove a point and end up in hell proving a point. But people do it every day. They engage with the wrong people, they marry the wrong people, they take positions and jobs that they know it's gonna be too much for them. They take on situations that there is too much to bear for them when it all boils down to it. They deal with people that they know is not right, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. We're dealing with a lot of people that go around here, and I don't want to say this about this definition of people being, they really throw this out here a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it's a lot of people that throw a narcissist. Okay, and I don't know why, when some people on YouTube and social media platforms, once people start saying something, everybody starts saying it, right? They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. And that's why a lot of times I do a lot of reading and I do a lot of research on my own before I start speaking on stuff. And if I don't speak on it, it's probably because I don't know it, or I need to do some more reading and research on it. But we all have been narcissists in our lives, but there is a difference, and some people have different degrees of being a narcissist. Okay. And let me say this. Basically, a narcissist is just someone that to me is very self-centered and very selfish, self-absorbed. Someone that is they like hurting and causing pain on other people. And there's different degrees of it. And SJ, you're a therapist, so you tell me if I'm wrong or right on this. But I really believe that we all, in some type of way, have had some of these characteristics. The difference between some people that have been diagnosed and some people that are just walking around here, saying it, they really have a higher degree to me, on the higher spectrum of being very self-absorbed. They like to inflict pain upon others. They're very self-centered. They can't see anyone else but themselves, and they make a habit on being manipulative to people. Um, and I believe that everyone has that to them, everyone. But I do believe that there's some people that have a higher degree or on the higher end of spectrum of being a narcissist. And I could be wrong. But I do understand that we all are selfish to an extent. But it is some people out here, they should get an Academy Award for their selfish and manipulative ways. Hey, Tino. And I really believe that. And I believe that, and that's why the world is in such I would say turmoil, as like it is now, because there's so many people that just do not see themselves for who they really are. And there was a song back when I was coming up, Michael Jackson, The Man in the Mirror, and it just seems to me that people just do not see themselves. I think there I think there is a epidemic of delusion that's going around here. People just don't see. They don't really see themselves. And like I told y'all before, I see myself. I got a temper, a quick temper. I get a bad misunderstanding sometimes. Sometimes I jump to conclusions, right? I have insecurities just like any other person. I overspend when I know I shouldn't, right? There's things about me that I just like, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. But that's a part of my flaws. I don't make excuses for them. If anything, I work on them so I don't keep doing it. But that is a part of me, right? Maybe it's because of my upbringing. Maybe it's because of some trauma or situations. I don't know. But we develop, I would say, habits and personalities because of our trauma or our childhood. A lot of us get things from our childhood and we still carry it on 30, 40, 50, 60 years old until we die, right? So I just looked at a lot of things that I did, and I just said, you need to just, Selena, just stop. And I talk to myself, not like I'm crazy or anything, but I do have to talk to myself and be like, you know what, Selena, that was unnecessary. You could have did this differently. You could have or you could have said that differently, or you could have avoided this situation had you been paying attention. See, a lot of stupid stuff I got into because I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings and I wasn't paying attention to the person, because the warnings was there. I just didn't pay attention to it, right? So those are things in my life that I've learned. And so when I go through things, I don't just take it as something that just happened by happenstance. I actually say, you know what? I was supposed to learn something from this situation. It just wasn't supposed to be just happened to me. It was something that I actually was supposed to get from it, right? So I don't be stupid again. And it's one thing that Miss Ruth used to tell me at my aunt's beauty shop when I used to work up there when I was a kid. And she told me, she said, Selena, don't do anything stupid this time. And I used to be like, why she always telling me that? But she was right. Lady, look, she been living. She know we gonna always get into some, especially you young. So you better make better decisions because you be making some stupid decisions. But when you make stupid decisions, don't just sit up there and make excuses for it and putting on other people. Learn something from it and quit wasting your time and other people's time with your foolishness. So yeah, cutting edge. You said arrogance is a vital character. Yeah, arrogance is also, it's false confidence. When you see a lot of people with this arrogance and they really insecure and don't know who they are, that's arrogance. See, true confidence means I don't have to step on anybody to know I'm that girl. I don't have to down somebody to know that I'm that girl. See, arrogance is stepping on other people and looking down on other people and discrediting other people. You don't know other people's struggle. And that's one thing about me. I'm not going to discredit somebody's experience because I understand how irritating that is when people discredit mine. People want to tell me about me and don't know nothing about me. People want to tell me who I am when they haven't walked in my shoes and been where I've been. See, I'm confident without being arrogant. Arrogant is false confidence. Arrogance meaning I got to discredit you. I got to look down at you. I got to talk about you and how you don't have this and I got this. That's arrogance. See, I just showed you the difference. So when you understand you confident, you don't have to down somebody else. You don't have to down somebody else's struggle because you know you struggle, you know who you are. So I don't like discrediting people for their experience in life. I don't like discrediting people for the things they've been through because I've been through my own, right? So I pay attention to that. I pay attention to when people are arrogant because I'm like, that's fake. You got that fake confidence and you think you fooling everybody, but real recognize real. And real not understand when you full of shit. And it's just some people that's full of manure. They pretend like they got it going on, that they the best thing since sliced bread, that they got this, they doing big things, and they just is struggling just like anybody else or worse. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend to you that I have it all together and that I have it all figured out because then that would be a lie. Then you could say, "Oh, she's lying," and I would be right. I would be lying, but I'm confident to know that everything that I need is within me, and God has given me enough determination and passion and tenacity to go after what I want. I want a master's degree. I go after it. I want to finish writing my book. I'm going after it. I'm doing it. I don't have to down someone else. I keep focused and I keep progressing and I accomplish my goals, right? And that's what people with confidence do. They don't have to down other people. I don't have to discredit 309 struggle. I don't have to discredit Miss V. I understand we all got our own paths. What you may think is a higher path, I may not think it, but at the end of the day, that's your path to go, right? So I think that in this day in my life, in this time in my life, I'm just starting to be more real with me and quit all the BS and quit trying to put on a facade like I'm okay with this when I'm not. And when y'all don't see me going live, that's the best thing for me to do because I'm taking care of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure that I can be the best version of me. So when I come on here, I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm not trying to be a Tasha K. I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker. I'm not trying to be none of that. I'm just trying to be Selena. and do whatever that I'm supposed to do and whatever message I'm supposed to deliver. So when I take breaks from here, it's because I'm getting things that I need for myself to be the better version that I need to be. Because if I'm not good, then I can't help nobody else, right? I can't be a blessing to nobody else because I'm broken, I'm messed up, I'm irritated, I'm paranoid, I'm mad. You're not going to get the best version of me. So when I take breaks, it's for a reason. Number one, so I won't get so emotionally involved in bullshit that is nothing to me, that will not add anything to my life. See, a lot of people get emotionally involved in bullshit and wonder why they so full of shit. Well, if you are so emotionally involved in bullshit, you're going to be full of shit. And forgive me for saying it, it's Sunday for, for some of y'all that went to church. I'm just saying, like I said the other day, a lot of times people be constipated with shit because they are full of it, right? We have to stop really making excuses for ourselves and really start really paying more attention to what we're doing, who we are as a person, right? And I think that a lot of the times these messages don't go well with some people because people don't want to hear that. They want to hear what's going on in the beef sector. We got Peach McIntyre over there acting, I guess that's her name, over there acting a fool, uh, airing out her dirty laundry and everybody else's. We got all these different content creators and different people on here with all this beef stuff. And it's just like, whoa, I can't imagine my life, everything a nook and cranny about my life being on YouTube for people to critique and talk about and know about. Like, that's just weird to me. So I just like, that's not my platform. My platform is only for a few people that understand that my type of mindset and my type of message. Yeah, it gets heavy on here. You got people on here that just be into some weird stuff and they don't mind for their lives being exposed. And I'm like, why are you putting everything out here? And see, this is the thing that some arrogant people miss. Some arrogant people that think they're actually confident, which they are not, because they seek validation. They want everyone to know I am doing this and I'm doing that and I'm dating this person and I'm in love and I'm got all this money. You know what I'm saying? It's always, and these are some of the same people that say they know who they are, they're confident. And these are some of the same people that are not confident, they're arrogant, they're very insecure, and they're always seeking validation from other people, and they say that they're not. This is what and they're not authentic. They're come off very disingenuous. So I run from things and people like that because I'm like, just get real. Like, just stop. Just stop. Like, what are you doing this for? Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to make mad? Who are you trying to get validation from? Who are you trying to make somebody see you in a different light? Like, what are you doing this for? You know? Those are some of the things people should ask themselves before they come on here. But I see that most of the time it's for a show, clicks, views, and money. So it's really not that deep of a science on here because people are just very surface for the most part, right? It's not really a reason besides I want attention, I need the money, and I don't mind having my stuff out there because I know what it is. And that's basically, hey, can't fault you for that. That is what you it is what it is. Right. But I think some of the stuff that I be seeing on here, I'm like, man, I have to put on the brakes. I can't let you in like that. I ain't gonna let you in on my business. No. No. And I will tell you only certain things to give you an example of what I'm talking about. But I'm never going to go into, oh, yeah, this happened to me when I was such and such. And, oh, and I'm dating this person. Oh, and I'm doing this and I'm going here tonight. And no, it's too much information. And I don't know who's listening. So I'm definitely not going to be putting out my stuff like that. And that's why I said, when you have people that's constantly always trying to do that, always trying to get validation, always trying to get somebody to see what they doing, who they with, you just doing too much, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So there's things that I just kind of I seen and stuff like that. And like I said, when things don't happen the way you want them to, it's a good reason. It's not always God trying to keep things from you, or for some of y'all, the universe trying to keep, or the stars and uh, with the planets not aligning. It's sometimes it's a blessing for you in disguise. A lot of times rejection is God's protection. And a lot of people get upset when things don't happen or things don't fall through the way you want them to. But it could be the very thing that could actually not only just save your life, but just to save your peace of mind. And so I stopped complaining about a lot of things that I work for, or maybe I seek to do, and or work to get, and they just didn't fall the way I wanted them to. I stopped getting so upset and irritable a lot of times, because I understand that even with that closed door, that opportunity falling through, it was not the right time, and it was not the right situation, right? And that's how I keep myself having a better perspective than I used to. When I used to be irritated and frustrated with stuff because it fell through, I got upset, and it would take over my whole countenance, my whole spirit of who I was, and it made me kind of a grumpy, negative person. And I understood that in life, there's always going to be times where things are not going to work out the way you want them to, but it may be the very thing that you may need to stop or not come through or fall through for you, because it could destroy you at the end. I'm glad that my cousin, that the one I was telling you about, that she finally got it, that um she that was her bad, that was her fault for going through with the marriage that she knew that wasn't the best thing and the best person for her. And unfortunately, some people never live through their lessons. Some people commit the S word, or some people are taken out of here due to domestic violence. So thank God she did not have to go through that experience of, anything that would be detrimental to her or her children. But the time that she wasted of being angry and mad at the world and mad at other people, when it was her decision that she made, right? So a lot of things I don't think in life is not by happenstance. I really do believe that. Hey, Divine, I really do believe that it is sometimes God's will letting you know, hey, you need to pause. You need to stop. You're headed for destruction. But like I said, you got some people, they'll walk right into hell with their eyes open. So, and I'm like, you, you by yourself on that one. You can show me once and I get it. Okay. I don't have to keep bumping my head to finally get it. Right. So if there's anybody that would like to come up, you're more than welcome to come up. But I just wanted to let you guys know that everything happens for a reason. God, and sometimes it's meant to protect you, it's not meant to hurt you in the long run. It's actually going to build you, and it's going to make you better. This is not some just motivational speech, but it's real. um, a lot of things that I learned in my life. I I'm glad that it happened for me and to me, because I'm so much more better. I'm so much uh, I'm appreciative, and I feel like I'm better because of the experience that I actually had to go through. That's why I said I don't believe it's a great thing to have a struggled life. But if you actually work with life like you need to, you will understand your struggles are actually meant to make you better, not bitter. Okay, they're actually supposed to build you, not break you. If you actually use the opportunities that you have. There's so many times that I wanted to give up on life, or I wanted to stop doing certain things because I was just tired of struggling in certain things. But then when I went through those things and I remembered the other struggle that I had before that and how I overcame that struggle, and I overcome that struggle, I know that I can overcome this struggle that I'm going through, because I went through a situation and I remembered all of what I went through and how I was struggling in certain area. And then I said, you know what? I went through this, but I actually I got out of this situation. I actually really focused, and I kept being, persevering, and I ended up accomplishing what I didn't think I was going to be able to accomplish. So now I'm in this situation, and I remember that last situation, then I know that I can do it because I persevered through that other experience that I had before. That's why I say you have to use situations to your advantage. You have to pay attention to the lessons that actually are, I would say, right in your face, and you overlook it because you're so looking at the pain of the situation instead of what can I do? How can I persevere through it? Because every lesson that you learn, or you're supposed to learn in life, is supposed to build you for the next situation. Because in life you'll either be going in a storm or out of a storm. But just because you're going out, just remember you're going to go right back into another one, because that's how life is. It cycles like that. You getting out of a situation, you're going to get just a few more months or a month or a week, you're going to go right into another situation. How you going to handle that? How you going to deal with that? Right? So there's always something. There's always something. And I'll go through and read some of these comments because I know that I have been talking, but I hope that somebody has been getting something from what I was saying today. Don't think that your lessons are by happenstance. They are really something that's meant for you to learn from it and not be wasted. You said, you always been authentically Miss Selena, and that is why I respect you, whether you're up or down. Thank you so much, Cutting Edge. You said a lot of ish on here is very disturbing, messes with your soul. Right. It does. It does. It really messes with your soul, and you have to be extremely careful with what you partake. You said, oh, okay. You said somebody died. Okay. Yeah, but like I said, I hope everybody got what I was trying to say. I hope I articulated in a way where you can understand what I'm saying. But I did want to do this little live stream because I want people to know that what I learned is that everything that I've been through, it was for a reason. It wasn't just because it just was because it was something behind what I needed to know, what I needed to get. So I'm glad that I'm getting that. I'm glad that I'm not learning to just waste time and waste situations because I'm just being surface. I'm not. I'm I'm just it's a lot of folks are just very shallow. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any in depth, and some people talk so deep and they're still shallow. Have you ever just talked to some people? They so deep, they got all the words they can articulate and all this kind of stuff, and they talk with great diction and they can pronounce every word to the T, but they say a lot of nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say a lot of nothing, and I call those type of people shallow. The shallow talkers. You know what I'm saying? Just surface, but they sound good. They look good. They know how to charm a crowd, but they add nothing to nothing, and they're saying absolutely nothing. They're taking other people's quotes and using it and making themselves sound deeper than what they really are. And that's what a lot of people do. I don't have time for that. Tell me something that you've been through and maybe I can relate. If you can't really be yourself or really tell me something that that you've been through, I can't trust it. I can't trust it. I'm not gonna always. I can be articulate and have great diction and take my time to pronounce it. I'm from Texas. So sometimes I put all the words together and it sounds funny, but I can take my time and use great diction and use all these big philosophical quotes and words um and do all of this. But you know, sometimes just being me and saying it how I want to say it is the way some people can understand. Some people can understand. I don't want to hear all that, I'm just gonna tell you where the rubber meets the road, as my brother-in-law would used to say. I'm just gonna tell you like a ti is. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 wow. Okay. Like, ain't nobody got time where I just want to tell the philosophical truth and all of this, the matter and the logic and all that. Look, I read the room. Okay. This sometimes my diction, and I ain't gonna have diction when I'm just talking to my homegirls or somebody I know. I'm just gonna be Selena. But then when I get front of a CEO or a supervisor or some type of big wig person, then I know how to turn it on, right? I can still be myself, but I know how to, hey, turn that on, that articulate person on, right? So you just read the room, but I'm gonna be myself regardless. But hey, we all got sides, okay? We all have sides. So but yeah, I just wanted to briefly just come on and talk about that. And I hope that everybody got something from what I said. I know I went all around the world just to get a point, but um I mean, well, hopefully I didn't make you guys fall asleep as you guys were listening to me. But I do have some things to say because I only go by my experiences. And my experiences have taught me that things don't just happen by happenstance. It's a reason. That's a reason why you didn't get that job. It's a reason why you didn't get that opportunity. It's a reason why you didn't get involved with that person. It's always a reason. It's always a reason. Miss V?
Hey, Selena.
Okay, girl. I'm about to say you
I
got
know.
plenty to do.
Listen. Okay. I know, girl. I know you about to leave. I just want to tell you, I'm so proud of you. Not that you need me to tell you that, but
Oh,
I
thank
see
you.
you. I see you, girl, and I see what you're doing, and I see what you're trying to do. And I'm
Right.
working on cussing, so I ain't gonna cuss. But F them.
Be
If
yourself.
they with it, if they no, that is me being myself, because I'm just working on me. If they with it,
Yeah.
they with it. If they're not, they're not.
Right.
When you take
Right.
your breaks and when you come back, everybody that's for you is gonna be here. And if they not, that's fine. More room for
Exactly.
the new people.
Right. 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 Shout out
And
to
as
Miss V. And Miss
and as far
V.
as the content that you want to do,
Uh-huh.
that's different. Just do the shit. Fuck
Right.
them. It doesn't
Right.
matter if it's one person in there. You only need one person to have a conversation.
Right.
Just do it.
And and encourage also by you as well, because you are also a content creator and you have a small channel like me, and you go live and you don't care if it's one person or two people in there, and I would like for you to also put your link in the chat so people can know about your channel. um a lot of the times, I know sometimes we as content creators, we look at the numbers, we look at other people's chats and what's going on with that. But I'm learning, just like what you were saying in one of your lives, just to just be myself. And those who will be there, they'll be there. Those who won't, they won't. And you have to be okay with that.
Yep.
I think a lot of our problems, we try to compare ourselves to other people in different ways, not really knowingly, or I would say consciously doing it. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna stop doing that, because I am me and they are them. So it's just best to be yourself, and those who recognize it and those who like it, hey, they'll join a ride. Those who won't, they'll get off.
Either
So
way, cool. Cool beans
either
if they
way,
do, cool beans if they don't. And
either
and
way.
really, and if they don't, that's dope too, because we're not here
Mhm.
to just be wasting our time. We want
Right,
people to get something out of what we're trying to give. And
right,
what was I about to say? I don't forgot. Hold up. Dag nabbit. Oh yes, and one of the other things that I keep trying to push, and I remind myself too, because sometimes it can get a little disheartening, but you whatever you choose to talk about, make sure it's something that you care about and you have an interest
right,
in.
right.
Don't gear it towards what you think other people may be interested in. If you know, do
Hmm.
speak about what you are interested in, so that way it doesn't matter. Either way, you're getting your ish off, and some people gonna have to catch the replay. And another thing I had to say to myself, which I said in one of my lives, sometimes it's not even that people don't want to support you or they don't rock with you. Everything, like you just said, everything is not for everybody, and that's fine. And there's other ways that they can support, because we all have moments where we click on a live or a video and it's like, well, I'm not about to sit through this, but for whatever reason. But you can still
Hmm.
hit the like button, drop a quick little hey comment, whatever the case may be. And sometimes it's also people's schedules. Sometimes, the timing. Like when I go live, I don't even look to see who's live. I need to be more considerate to see who's live when I do my thing. But sometimes, well, a lot of the times it's just on the fly.
Right, right. Me too.
But you got to take all those things into consideration so that way we don't instantly assume like, okay, people just acting funny or they're not rocking with us or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
I know a couple of my people, they like to be where the drama resides. So when I'm having my live, if it happens to coincide where the drama is residing, I know what it is.
Right, right. And like I said, like you were saying, you just, hey, you focus on you and quit focusing on other people and what they doing. You know what I'm saying? As long as you are passionate, and as long as I am passionate about whatever I'm talking about, then that's
Hmm.
all that matters. And those that need
That's
to
it.
hear it, they will hear it, and those that won't, they just won't, and that's fine. So,
Right.
and I'm being and knowing that I'm more content with it than before. Before I was probably a little bit more irritable, or not really understanding, hey, what do I need to do and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm like, I ain't got time for that. I got a lot of irons in the fire. So right now, YouTube is not that important. You know what I'm saying? So, and if I
Right.
get on here, I get on here. And if I got five people, I got five people. And then that's how we gonna rock, you know.
That's it.
But as long as I'm saying what I need to say, what's on my heart, and this is a lesson that I've learned, that everything happens for a reason. And as I learned that lesson, that's why I want to tell other people about it. Because even if you do know everything happens for a reason, some people don't realize it, but everything does happen for a reason. And so, since I have learned that and been through enough situations, I understand a lot of the things that we want is not the best thing for us sometimes.
Right.
You know what
And
I'm saying?
even if there's things you talk about that may or may not rub people the wrong way, if it don't apply, let it fly.
Oh yeah. I mean,
You know
these
what
people,
your intent is, and that's on them if they take it a
right.
certain way.
It's
And that's
some
why,
people. Yeah, but Miss V, it's some people this is a council culture, and a lot of times you don't say what people want you to say or how they want you to say it. They get upset on sub, and you be like, wait a minute, you on subbing from my little old channel, But
bless their soul.
yeah,
That's
but
it.
I'm like, gone with your bad self. You know what I'm saying? You ain't did nothing to certain people, and they, cause it was somebody that was just on my panel the other day, well, maybe a couple of months ago, and I and they blocked me, and I'm thinking to myself, people are so weird on this app. You know what I'm saying? What could I have possibly done? Because I don't harass people, so I was just like, people are just really weird, and you can't even worry about why people are so weird.
Nope.
That's why a lot of times when I take breaks from here, I'm just like, yo, I already got to deal with crazy people every day, crazy kids. I'm not finna come on here and deal with that too. It's gonna be one or the other. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So
If somebody
I
has me blocked, I don't even have the desire to question as to why. That's between them and God, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason. The
yeah.
same way if I got somebody blocked, I don't want them coming to me third party or nothing like that. Don't worry about it. There's a
Hey
reason.
JMC. Yeah. And that's what I
That's
said
it.
too. Cause it's some people block because I'm like, I don't like your ass and you don't harass me anyway. So but yeah, but I appreciate everything that you have done by supporting me. And I ask you guys, SJ, I don't know if you have time, if you could put Miss V's channel in the chat. I know she don't really like putting a channel in the chat. I don't know why. But I always tell
I don't be pressed, girl.
if you're a content creator and you're a mod, don't feel free to put your link in the chat. And then also, if you are a content creator and you want people and you want to let me know, I can get one of my mods to also put your link in the chat as well, because I would like to network with people, not everybody, but people that support me. I want to support them. So I always tell people that don't ever feel like I would have a problem with that, because I don't. But I appreciate you, Miss V, because you've always been the same since I've known you. And you're also very encouraging as well. So shout out to you for that. I appreciate you.
Shout out to you, girl. You know you rocking, I'm rolling. And whatever you
Right,
want to do, we gonna do
right,
it.
right. Well, you said support, support. I'm like Kim Lowe. SJ, I only got $5. What Kim Lowe say? I ain't get $5 yet. Y'all ain't support. But
Lord,
yeah, I don't know what Kevlar had said. SJ, they only got $5. I've been on here for how many minutes? I've been on here for an hour and 19 minutes. But anyway, but yeah, and SJ is my girl too. I like SJ. She's very comical in her own way. Yeah, JMC, what's up? Support
I
Icy.
just like her. I like her cadence and the way she speaks.
Yeah, me too. I was like, man, I wish I had that. But unfortunately, hey, God gives you what you got. So you just have to use what you got.
Who was it? Was it you? You were talking about how she was getting into it with somebody, and all she said was like, "Was I talking to you?"
Yeah, she did. She was like, I wasn't even talking to you or something. She said it was funny. And I'm like, she didn't raise her voice. With me, I've been like, was I talking to you? But she's like,
She the
was I
type you
talking
gonna
to
have to
you?
say like, "Yo, I need you to pick up your cadence when you talking to me."
Yeah, she sure did. I said, Lord have mercy. I wish I could do that. But I'm just like, when I kind of get defensive, I get a little loud, and I'm like, I wasn't even talking to you, lady, or whatever. You know me. So I was just like, oh, I wish I could just be like, was I talking to you? And go on
Did
about
you
my
hear me
business.
say that?
Did you hear me talk? Did you hear me say your name? That
Or did
kind of thing.
somebody tell you that I said that?
Yeah, I wish I could do that. I just can't do it. I get up kind of upset. I go out from there. But hey, I'm working on that too. I'm trying to work on that too, where I'm just like, you know what, ma'am or sir, I mean, I wasn't addressing you, so please don't come at me like that.
I'm just
So
blocking. I'm not engaging to get to the to the
right,
bottom of nothing. You're
yeah,
gonna get
no,
blocked.
no kumbaya, no Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Cutting Edge.
you'll get blocked because I don't even move in a way to where I need to even be having that type of back and forth. So that just means you need to get blocked. That's it.
Right. For that part. So yeah, I enjoy that when she talks like that. That's really funny to me. But yeah, I'm finna get on off of here because I gotta get ready, and so I gotta get my mind right for tomorrow. Dealing with a whole legion of demons tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's Monday, girl.
Um, yeah, I'm like, dang, why does the weekend you're having such a good time, then you got to go back to work in the morning? I'm thankful for, a career and all, but it is, ooh, I
Hey, girl,
tell
at
you.
least we're not none of these government workers being forced to go to
Oh
work while not
yeah,
getting paid. Gotta
I
wait to get paid on the
know.
back end.
I have a lady. I think I told y'all, a lady at my church. She is a government worker, and she's been They still want them to work and not get paid. I'm
Hmm.
like, where they do that
They
at?
will lose their job.
Right. And she said that she had stopped doing it. She's like, I'm not working, but she had a lot of savings. She's older, so she had a lot of savings. But she was like, I feel sorry for those single moms and those young people that just got on to the to the government, got these government jobs, and they're not getting paid. I said, bless their hearts.
That's the
Cause
biggest
that
deterrent
right.
to even getting a government job because every time it's time for them to work it out and get their stuff together, this always happens.
Right. Right. And so didn't it happen last year?
It happens every time it's time for them to come to agreement. It doesn't matter who's in
Yeah.
office.
Yeah, so especially with Trump in the office, they don't want to work with that. So that's why I was just like, oh God, I hope these people can get this together so these people can start back working and getting paid again. People have real lives. This is their income that they live on. And see, this is why I say you can't ever discredit people's struggle, because some of them same people that have these government jobs and they live for this, they live on this income. They may be single, and some of them may be married, but they are dependent on this income. And with this happening now, what are they going to do? And now people can't even get food stamps. So it's just a lot of things. You can't discredit people's struggles. You don't know what people are going through, you know.
Right. And
And
everyone can't afford to wait to get paid on the back end.
right. And some people don't have, which everybody should, but everybody doesn't have a large savings. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So if something were to happen, thank God the lady that goes to my church has a lot of savings to live on. But it's just the fact that what about those people that just started out? You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
really try my best not to discredit people's struggle, because you don't understand. And the world is getting so bad now, you don't know what you're going to have to go through.
The only
You
thing I don't like is people that um have too much pride to go and work at a specific job, but don't have too much pride to ask people for stuff.
right, Because I sure would if say, if I had a bad situation, didn't have an education or whatever, I couldn't find a job, I sure would work at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I sure would work at Whataburger or whatever to make ends meet. Like I
Right.
told y'all, at one point I had a second little part-time job because, I was trying to do certain things. So I needed that little extra, income to help me get what I was trying to do. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? So people have their different ways of doing things. And that's why I don't be judging people when folks be having two or three jobs because they trying to get it. You don't know what people probably trying to save up on getting the house. You
I
know,
judge them when they don't got no job and they try to get no job and a month of
right.
funding, but
And
be asking for stuff.
I
I
gotta
don't
pay
like
off
that.
student loans again once I finish this degree. So it's like a lot of things, people go through. And that's why
Hmm.
you should never be looking down at people and trying to put people in a box because you don't know folks what people had going on, what they got going on. And that's
I know you was a little perturbed earlier.
I just was a little, and when I get passionate about something, I try not to be that way. But when I get really passionate about something because I know something, I really get you know, very emotionally uh just disturbed.
Hmm.
I get as disturbed because I'm not gonna give you all, I don't go into my personal life, but most people know, hey, I was raised by my grandparents. I was raised also with a one parent, in a one parent home, single parent home. And there was things that was not afforded to me because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't
Hmm.
have certain things that maybe two parents in a household, loving parents, may were able to give their children, and to be, some children were more privileged than others. And I really get offended when people would ever think that anybody that struggles is glorifying that, because most people are not glorifying struggle. They're just telling you what they've been through because it's a testimony of where they came from. You know what
I
I'm
think the
saying?
person that said that is disturbed and got some deep rooted issues.
Okay, well, I don't want to go into that, but what
We're
I
not,
will,
but I'm just saying for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, but I will say for me, I would have to have, and this is why I deal with these type of people, I have to deal with someone that's genuine and that has been through something, that can understand the challenges, that some of the things that, maybe a person that has struggled has been through. And what I mean by that, I don't want to come off like I couldn't relate to a person that maybe had it, all all together for them, or things set out for them. I don't want to make it seem like, you know people that were privileged are bad people, or they have never been through anything. But I do relate more to people that have actually been through a lot, because I have. And so I can relate to people more like that. That's just
And you know the funny thing about that? That's when
uh,
empathy comes into play because even if someone did have a sheltered life or was fed from a silver spoon, whatever have you, when you have
mhm.
empathy, you have the ability to understand things even if you haven't went through it or if it didn't hit home for you. And not
Yes,
everybody has empathy, and that's the issue too. Because you could
right.
be
Empathy or
raised
sympathy.
up a certain, yes, you could be raised up a certain way, but still have an understanding of things.
Right. And, and my thing, see, empathy is actually when someone has kind of experienced the same, they kind of correlating, their experience or correlating with each other. And sympathy is something, even though you didn't go through it, you have compassion and understanding that this is this person's struggle, and let me not, I would say, shit on it, let me try to either understand, or, you know, maybe just not be so judgmental
Right.
of the person or the situation. And so I know for me, even though I don't understand, because some people that are more privileged, even though they have been through things, I would be sympathetic to some of the things that they, even though I may not have experienced, I'm sympathetic to some of the things that maybe they might have went through. Like, say, for instance, even though they were privileged, they might have had family, even though their parents may have gave them everything, their parents wasn't emotionally there for them. So I can sympathize with their parents not maybe being there for them emotionally.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, if I was empathetic, that means I can understand that because I had parents that, or a parent that was maybe unemotionally available, if that makes
Right.
sense. So I think that, like what you're saying, I really think that people need to understand, even if you can't recognize it or you don't understand it, don't be so quick to be judgmental or say a person is glorifying or thinking, or thinking a person is less than because they're not where you think a person should be at 30 or 40 or 50. Everybody's
Mhm.
path is different. So I I just, that kind of bothers me a little bit, and that's why a lot of the times when people tell me their story, I just listen. Whether I understand it, I sympathize with it, right? And
Mhm.
and some things, it goes, it kind of goes home with me on certain people because I maybe have experienced something really close to the situation, so I can empathize with that person. But even if I don't understand it and never been through it, I can truly be sympathetic because that's another human being, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
I think that's where maturity comes in, and emotional intelligence. See, a lot of people don't have emotional intelligence to understand what it means to sympathize with someone
Mhm.
and how to sympathize with someone, how to regulate your own emotions and your own thinking errors so that you can be able to allow other people to express themselves in an emotional way. It's just, I don't want to just be too, but
I know. A
I,
lot of
I
times we're
do get
just
upset.
self-absorbed and we're wrapped up in what we got going on, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not intentional.
and I and
Um,
I and I do think it's some people that may not be aware of it. They may not be aware that, you're coming off like an asshole at this point, right? You're coming off
right,
like you have never been through anything. So I don't know. Some people may not be aware. They may not see themselves in that manner, so they could not possibly get what you're saying. But I do think there is some people that just don't care. They don't care to
right.
understand another person. They don't care to be compassionate and see that, hey, even though I had it great coming up, somebody else didn't. You know what I'm saying?
But yet
Somebody
they
else
would
had
like
it
great.
great.
They would like to receive grace in a different type of form. It's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's really kind of strange. So that's why I said, I think in the society that we live in today is very self-absorbed. Very, people are really delusional, and they have no emotional intelligence whatsoever. It's just, it's all about me and what I see and how I see it. My perspective is the only perspective that matters. Forget
Hmm.
yours and everybody else in the whole wide world, because my perspective is much more important than yours.
You ain't
Period.
lying. There are
So
people with that mindset.
I don't ever rock with people like that because I that doesn't make sense to me. And older I'm getting more like, okay, let me find the logic. Let me not be so emotional, even though my emotions, as long as I use them in a healthy manner, and I'll be, that's normal. We're gonna All human beings have emotions. That's just a part of who we are as human beings. But let me not be so emotional, having an emotional overload that I forget that other people have emotions and situations more than I do, um even though I went through a lot. There's somebody that went through worse things that I can probably would couldn't ever imagine going through. fortunate and blessed in a lot of different areas. In some areas I wasn't. But there's somebody else that I went to school with that had it really bad. Like
Mhm.
nobody was there to nurture them. Nobody was there to pour back into their life. They had to really go out and steal stuff just to go and eat. Their only meal was at school. You know what I'm saying? And I had at least food at home. I had at least a home cooked meal, whether I cooked it or my parent cooked it or my grandparents
And think
cooked it.
about the work they had to do to try to make sure that they didn't carry that mindset over into
Right,
adulthood if they were able to, because I don't know them obviously. But
right,
that's crazy.
right.
It
And you
just is
just
what it
make
is. I call it the birth lottery. Not everybody. That's what made me try to be not as judgy about these illegals that come over here
uh-huh.
and certain things they're benefited and everything like that. Because it's like it's the birth lottery. People don't get to choose where they're born at or who they're born to and the circumstances and whatnot.
That part.
So
Yeah.
I
Hey
try to keep that
Carl.
in mind.
Hey, Mr. Carl. Yeah, and I agree with that too, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times we some of us are fortunate and some of us not so fortunate and some of us in between. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. That's just how life is. You know what I'm saying? None of us can pick our parents and pick our
Mm-mm.
families. It just is what it is.
It's the birth
So
lottery, girl.
mhm. And you just make the best and you make the best out of it. Whatever it is, you make the best out of it and you do the very best that you can and try to persevere regardless of, your misfortunes or your different traumas in life. And that's what I have done. And I'm not the only person that has done that. A friend of mine, Tino, and I'm gonna be doing interviewing him probably in the next couple of weeks. Um, he was someone that is from my neighborhood in Oak Cliff, and he wrote a book. And not only did he write a book, before that, he graduated college and he got his bachelor's, and he's getting his master's, and he's doing things in his life for him and his daughter to improve his life. And these are the type of people that I can relate to, I can highlight because he grew up in a single parent home as well. He grew up in the hood just like me, but he didn't make that a crutch. He persevered, and he is who he is now because he persevered and he didn't give up. And that's what a lot of people's stories that come through struggle, that's a lot of people's stories, because we understand that we don't take things for granted because we understand where we came from.
Right. And he
So
made an active choice not to be a product of his environment and use that as a
exactly.
crutch for certain things. There's a lot of people that have the it is what it is, I am who I am mentality, and they're only going to
Mhm.
go but so far. And people
and,
are
and
only going to go with them but so far because that gets old after a while.
and I'm gonna tell you this: if you are dealing with people that, okay, it's good to have people in your life to accept you for who you are, but it's also good when people, as they accept you for who you are, they challenge you. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people today. They want people to
Hmm.
say yes, 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 and that's their ideal of peace. But really, to be honest with you, hey, Action, when you have people that not only accept you for who you are, but they also challenge you to be better, you really have a good person or support system in your life. Not the person that doesn't give you any pushback, but just agrees with everything you want. And
Hmm.
this is why people are missing the mark. I don't want a yes person. Everything I say, yes, Selena, yes, Selena, yes, Selena. I want somebody to say, well, yes, Selena, you are a great person, but also I'm going to challenge you because there's some areas that you need to deal with, right? But
Hmm.
it's like sometimes you get these people out here, they want yes people, yes man, yes woman. They don't want nobody challenging them on nothing. And then
And the
when you
ones that
have
scared to challenge them, they don't challenge them because they're only with them, whether it's friendship, whatever, because there's something they feel like they can get out of it.
right, and you're a wonderful person if you're doing everything I want you to do, even without me asking. But are you a wonderful person even when I did something wrong and you tell me you were out of line on that? You gonna
Hmm.
still be a wonderful person or not? So this is what I'm saying. I need, and this is why I like dealing with people like that. Yes, tell me, encourage me. Thank you so much, Action. I appreciate you. Encourage me, but also let me know when I'm missing the mark.
Yep.
Don't
That's why I
tell
keep
me,
pressing the thing. Take heed. Don't take offense.
yeah, take heed and don't take offense. Right. Thank you so much, Action. I'm gonna do it on my phone and give you a heart. I appreciate you. You gave me my first super chat. Shout out to Action, another sweetheart. So yeah, that's what I want people to kind of realize, that it's great to have people that encourage you and tell you what you want to hear, but it's even better when you have people that will and you know not just say you stuff that's you need to action. But I'm finna get up off of here
All right, girl. Have a good night. I didn't even mean to be up here that long. I just wanted to tell you
together
that
for
real quick. I'm proud
tomorrow.
of you. It's breaking up,
Appreciate that.
but
Somebody
have
is
a good
proud of
night,
me.
girl.
You
It just
too.
keep
And I'm
breaking
proud
up.
of you too for I'm proud of you for doing your own thing too.
Yeah, girl. You know I came a long way. You know I came a long way.
To
Have a good
make
night.
sure y'all sub up and make sure SJ got a channel. What is SJ talking about? SJ, what you talking about, SJ? It's not. Is that SJ or is that Miss V? What she talk see this for myself. The SJ, that's my girl. You said no, no light to get too involved with that. If that's what you want to do, I thank you, Roy Lee. I appreciate. If I was you, mm-mm. The panels, get on the panels, but I would maybe. You said thank you so much. Do what you think is best, but I told you. I think the last time I told you, I don't 100. And then with you being associated with certain people, it's gonna put a. It's not, you already have a target on you. So I that sometimes it's better. I would say number one is better not to really be on here a lot because that's why I take a lot of breaks and a lot of things I be missing. I'm like when I either being in the bushes, number one, is the best place to be, or no, the best is not being on here and doing other things. That's the first thing. Being in the bushes. And if you gotta be on the, talking to people on here, if you want to talk to people on here, then maybe hit their panel every now and then. But to get your own channel in this sector, I don't think that's what you want. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm buffering. I hope I'm not still buffering. Yeah, I don't think that's what you want. But she said, wait, SJ got a channel? Honey, they trying to get SJ. I'm gonna tell SJ to run. I'm gonna just say run, SJ. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. But like I say, if you're gonna do it, make sure you get another algorithm. Um, so because you're gonna have some folks over there you don't want doing content, doing reviews. And I don't think that's what you want, girl. But hmm, just pray about it. That's all I'm gonna say. But if you know better, you do better, and you would get gone. I'm like for real, get gone for real. Back in 2021, if I knew what I knew now, y'all would never know me. I'd still be in the bushes. If you know like I know, you say, this sector ain't in my opinion. I agree with Miss Selena. I would recommend another sector. Yeah, for real. Just gone somewhere else. Change up. And even if you just start out like with if you get another account and you start out with just 3 subscribers and then you start to get a stream yard and you want to do something, and even though you got 3 subscribers, hopefully over the months and stuff your subscription count will add up. Maybe people will see your channel, but and you'll be able to be in a totally different algorithm. And it'll probably take some time, but it may not, depending on what you have out there. So, and what people want to see. But it's just a lot of different things you have to look at when you decide, I want my own channel. I want to do, you have the, I would say, whatever your passion is, whatever your message is, just be clear on it and don't deter from that message or that vision that you want for your channel. If people react to you in a certain way or do reactions on you in a negative way or whatever, you have to stay focused on your vision and your passion for your own channel. And then you won't get so swayed to be distracted on the left or on the right. You'll just stay focused straight ahead. And if I knew that from the beginning, then I think my motives and my focus would have been different. But, I am where I am, and that was the path that I had to take. And I wish that I knew someone that would have actually maybe helped me or showed me that, told me that. Maybe I would have been better off, but I'm here. I'm here for a reason, and I'm here, you know. Let me stop saying, I've been in speech class all this time. When you have to take the speech class that first year of college, and I started to break that, and now I'm doing it again. I have to catch myself. Yeah, these people crazy as hell. And you not a confrontational person, SJ. You very I know you could you probably before you was a therapist, and even now you probably can cut up just like anybody else, but you almost have to be sometimes, I think, depending on how you start and how you allow things to affect you. Sometimes you almost have to be like a savage, I think, because that's people's mindsets on here. Because they know, most people know that they'll probably never see you. So they're extra savages on here, right? So they say and do all the most egregious things. And with you not having a confrontational personality, not to say that you can't get with somebody, because we know you can when you want to, but that, I don't think that's not who you are. And so that's why I said, if you was to do it, you probably have to get in a different algorithm, for people that are more like-minded like you know here I go with the, just somebody, people that are like-minded, that would understand your mindset and your content. See, like with how I started out, some people in this sector, and because I feel like I'm over here by myself anyway, but it's some people in, the Kwame Brown sector comes and frequently visits my platform, but I'm not a beef channel. So it's almost like people have to shift, because my stuff is different from what is going on in this sector. Um, so anything is possible, SJ. But I would say, again and again, pray about it and get in another algorithm. Get yourself another channel, and don't tell anybody over here, unless it's the people that you want to tell privately, that, hey, I got a new channel, sub up to this. But just to put it out like that, I don't think that's a wise decision. Again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I think you kind of understand that I'm just giving you some advice. Um, so you said, yeah, regardless of what content creators do in this sector, there will always be people targeting you and will bring F ish some way or another. Is right. Right, cutting edge. I mean, you could be talking about the birds in the sky, and someone will do a reaction. Why is she talking about the birds in the sky? This is stupid. Look at this. Listen to this. I'm like, that's what that person wants to talk about. And why, if it's so stupid, why are you listening to it? Like, just weird. He said, yeah, I got plans. Y'all catch me if y'all can. Right. You better. You said people being replaced by robots right now as we speak, while they got us distracted with the government shutdown. Oh, and that's why it's so much of the AI, all these different AI robots and all of this, and I want to do a live stream. This is kind of off the subject, but I want to do a live stream on these people have some type of sex robots, and I'm like, what is going on here? So it's actually some men, some weird men. I don't know, I haven't seen any women lately with this, but it has been some weird men that have these sex robots, and these things, they have, I guess, vaginas, and oh, this is weird. They can kiss and all this kind of stuff. And these are robots. And I'm like, see, the world has got so far gone. People are having sex with the robots and these I guess it's like a advanced technology what do you call them? Blow dolls. What do you call them? I don't forgot what the little blow dolls where they plastic, and I guess, I don't know, it was some weird stuff I seen on this reality. It's not a reality, it's a documentary. I forgot the name of it. But I saw this one black guy, he named it, I gave the thing a name, and it was supposed to be his girlfriend. It was a black guy. He was a very strange looking guy. But he had y'all probably seen it. He's black, and he looked like he was kind of grungy, in that grunge heavy metal kind of stuff. I don't know what kind of thing he had going on, but black guy, light skin. He looked kind of weird, and he had a blow up doll, and he had it. It was his girlfriend, and he would take this doll everywhere he went, and people was just looking at him like, "What the hell is going on with this guy?" And he's talking to, having dinner with this doll. But now they have the dolls, they have the robots to where these are actually, you know, things that talk back, you know, and now they're having them where you can have sex with them. And I said, "Oh my God!" So now the men, not only are they turning, I guess to some of them are turning to other men, they're turning to robots. So it's scary out here, y'all. I don't know what some of us single women, we need to get somebody real quick, right? Hey, pretty brown. So I've never heard of anything like this, but when I seen that the man had the blow up doll and he was taking the doll everywhere he went, and then he was eating dinner with them, he was kissing them, and I guess he also said he was intimate with the doll. And I said, you know what? This is weird. Some weird people out here. Right. Weird crap. Who in their right mind would get a blow up doll? You that lonely? You go and get a no, I ain't gonna say that, but I was about to say go get but a sex worker or something if you that hard up. Or why would you even get a doll, a blow up doll or a robot to have a relationship with them? Do you understand an AI robot or a blow up doll? You cannot have that is not a real human being. And this is how far gone and dysfunctional and just people's minds and conscience are seared that they would even result to something like this. Why would you do that? That's just disgusting, y'all. you know and I have never seen, when I couldn't even believe it until I saw it for myself. And when I saw it for myself, and the man having the blow up doll, and it wasn't just him, there was a few other men that was on there that had them dolls, and they really was their girlfriends, and some of them even married the dolls. And I said, "Oh my God, this is so weird." But this is what people are really going into. So not only do we have to worry about, do the men like other men, we got to worry about, well, do they like the blow up dolls and the little robots? Yeah, this is weird. And this is what I really believe that's why you have to really be careful about the porn industry, because I believe that a lot of times you can start out watching just regular porn, and then it becomes where it's not good. You need something a little bit more more riskier, or something that's a little bit more nastier, or your appetite need something more than what you just started out with. And that's why a lot of times men and women that really get into porn, it really affects their relationships with their significant other, or their husband or their wife, because they are trying to uh, I would guess emulate what they see on camera instead of the reality of the situation. And if you understand, a lot of these, like porn stars, and men and women, a lot of them commit suicide. I'm gonna say 80% of them commit suicide, or they have a drug overdose or something like that, because that stuff really plays with their mind. And I don't know. It's just a lot of weird stuff. Maybe a lot of people, men, will disagree with me, or women will disagree with me. I say you do what you want to do. Um, but I do say you have to be careful what you consume, and do everything in moderation. That's what I will say. If that's what you're gonna, because some women watch it. I've never been into it. That's just not my thing. But some men and women, they enjoy it and they don't see anything wrong with it. But you have to be very careful about what you consume, and that goes for anything: food, watching too much TV, doing anything too much can consume you if you're not careful. So yeah, I just thought that was weird. And I wanted to show and see if y'all knew what it was. Did y'all hear about it? Because I was trying to find it the other day, and I said, "Is this really real?" I said they got to be lying. Because I was trying to find it. Let me see if I can find it. Because I said, "Oh my God, this is weird." Men having relationships, and then I'm gonna get off of here because I be look I love documentaries. I can watch documentaries all day. I'm not I'm one of them people that enjoy uh documentaries. I say blow up dolls. Should I say robots and blow up dolls? Let's see if I can find it. Cause I see, yes, this is him. Let me see if I can get this. This is fair use under copyright 107, 1976. Allowances made for fair use for the purpose of criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. I'm just going to show you this right quick. I just thought this was so weird. I saw this a couple of years ago. And I said, oh my God, I didn't even think this exists. Look,
I can't live without my real doll. I have a
look at
doll.
him.
She's my partner. That's all you get. So there you go. And you're welcome.
Dave, she can't see
Yeah.
and she can't hear.
Yes. As long as you have 1 foot in reality, it's a perfectly normal thing, I think.
You don't have a foot in reality, sir. Yeah, it's called Strange Addictions. It used to come on TLC. Look at this guy.
Originally, when I first got her, I called her my synthetic girlfriend. But it's actually progressed to the point where it's like, oh, she's my wife. She's not awake right now because, well, basically she kept hitting the snooze button.
Her eyes are open, dude. And then he says she keeps hitting the snooze button. Like, are you serious?
And so it's just like, just let her sleep. It's not even worth getting her out of bed at this point. The whole interaction on a day-to-day basis, along the lines of like getting her dressed, brushing her hair, things of that nature, it brings us closer together as a couple. I'd actually worn this necklace a lot, and I decided she should have it. It's kind of like, when you give your sweetheart a class ring, that sort of thing. The photo shoots are something fun that we do.
Y'all, I gotta do a live on that. The devil is busy, y'all. If y'all don't think the devil real, look at this kind of stuff. This is weird. This is weird. And I think people, and I don't want to, everybody's experience in life is different. I don't know how this guy's mindset got this far. I don't know. I don't know what has happened to him. Maybe he never got girlfriends in school. I don't know. So I try not to be too judgmental, but my goodness, this is so far off. And it's scary, right? Action is scary. And I'm like, this can't be real. This cannot be real. Look.
I first was even thinking about getting a real doll. I was just like, okay, well, the sex is going to be fantastic. But there's also the whole concept of like taking photographs. My mother and I used to go down to downtown Detroit every weekend. While she was in various stores trying on clothes, I would actually be looking at the mannequins, and it kind of stemmed from there. Back in 1999, actually, my best friend, Monty, had actually tipped me off to a site that sold these lifelike mannequins that were made out of silicone, so they were nice and soft. I was like, oh my God, I've got to have one of these.
He said, oh my God, I got to have one of these. Why not try to develop a relationship with a real person, sir? You see what I'm saying? Like this is really how people have disconnected from other human beings. I'm just saying. Now he said when he was young, he used to like looking at the mannequins. So, Oh, let me just keep. Let me just.
Most people find it soothing to live in a fantasy life, to fantasize, or even to daydream.
That's true, because that's why you see so many delusional people on social media. Most of these people live in a fantasy life. That's all they that's what they live on. They can be anything they want to be on YouTube. They can be anything they want to be on Instagram and TikTok. Most people live in a fantasy world. It's more comfortable that way because reality sucks for a lot of people.
It really becomes problematic when that becomes the predominant way that they live their life.
I gotta admit, me and my friends all thought it was kind of weird, Dave Cad paying quite a sum of money for a real doll. But after he got her and the interest that he showed in her, it was kind of cool in a way.
What? Oh,
This will be her anniversary present for our 10-year.
He got a ring, y'all. And what the hell is right, R&B? What the hell? What the hell? What is going? Oh, I haven't. You know what? I haven't been living a long time, but I have never seen anything like this in my life until I started watching TV and looking at all these weird documentaries. And I said, my God, these people actually exist. Look at this. We got 2 rings.
I got these matching wedding bands. They say synthetic love lasts forever on them.
When people are lonely, they often look toward alternative means to find relationships. That could be.
When people are lonely, they look to alternate things to get those relationships. And that's why you see so many people in entanglements and situationships and weirdness, because they're lonely and they don't know how to really deal with their loneliness.
Through a pet, sometimes even just going online. But there are really no substitutes for a true human companionship.
No substitutes. You can get a dog, a cat, a rabbit, a bird. You can even get a blow-up doll. You can get a robot that will never be a human connection. The human connection is one of the most powerful connections the first one is with your creator, but the second would be with another human being. You can never get love from an object. Your animals can love you to an extent, but they're not human beings. They love you because you take care of them. Human beings actually have free will to love or not to love you, to show you affection or to not show you affection. They have free will. Animals don't. Animals are just animals. Some of them are very smart, but they're not human beings. That's what's. I'm like, dude. Some of these people, I'm gonna have to do a live stream on this. How delusional. A lot of people have I would say, have gotten in this society. It's really gotten bad out here, y'all, and it's gonna be some more weird stuff we're gonna be seeing in the future. Hey, forever, yeah, these people nuts. Yeah, he might as well go get a prostitute if that's what if he that hard off, that's kind of. I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest him maybe finding someone that may be compatible with him. But some people are so strange. They it's kind of hard for them to connect with other humans, to say the least. The society we have today is not. A lot of people, just to me, don't seem really genuine. I mean, I could be wrong, but a lot of times I see people they being more kind of disingenuous than genuine. Yeah, this is how far people can go in K, and they can go further than that. I think that's why you see so many people in the bestiality. What is who would have thought people would be into something like that? So it just goes to show you people's human beings, we can go so far to where it's disgusting, and it's it's just vulgar. It's just weird. So I don't know, but like I said, if you want somebody that bad and you can't get a connection, I mean, some people go to sex workers. That's better than a blow up doll, I think. But I don't know. Just bless their hearts, And I don't want to be so judgmental, but I just thought that was just really strange. It was just really strange to me. So, but I thank you guys for coming through. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. To press the like button just to say me with donation. I appreciate that things happen not by every experience. Apply whatever you need to apply to your life and learn something from what you went through, and you. So thank you for appreciate it. So thank you so much, Miss V. So I will do another live on how far, as in case it, how far people will go for I would say for love or affection or loneliness. I don't know what's going on. Thank you, Mr. Bevins. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for coming through. Showing me some love. I don't know when the next time. Oh, you said prostitution is legal in the UK. Oh, okay. Well, honey, do what you do. But I think homeboy was over here in the States, so I don't know. He's just kind of strange to me. That's all I thought. And I said, that's weird sense of companionship, honey. We need to get some therapy and see what's going on. you know, what is going on? Why we can't connect with other humans? That would be the question. So bless his heart, bless his little soul. So shout out to everybody that came through. I hope that I hope I didn't offend anyone, but charge it to my head and not my heart. I'm not, my goal is not to offend anyone, especially if they ain't been disrespectful to me. But I hope that you got something from what I said. And yeah, until the next time, guys, I will see you guys later. Love y'all to Reese's Pieces. Bye. Selena.
It's a bad baby. Oak Cliff girl. Can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl. Put them wheels on and roll.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers, just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana boo boo.